That girl Henny. Y'all gotta go to her channel.
The girl Henny, do you know who she is?
She a blogger or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just like, where did this lady come from?
You,
Girl
right?
been on your ass.
She on your life, G.
Shout out to Henny over there.
I'm gonna get right into it. What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? Welcome back to the bar. And if you are new here, oh God, I gotta move this mic. But anyway, if you are new here, please be sure to like, comment, and of course, subscribe. Be sure that you click that notification bell, select all so that you get notified whenever I do a video. And if you are a returning Mob Down Henny Gang member, yeah. Now let's get into this content. So, y'all know Jay-Z and Buzby has been going back and forth, and they've been feuding in the legal docs. Well, guess what? Busby has decided that he is going to file suit against RocNation's lawyers. Child, we going to get into them docs because he is accusing them of pretending to be or falsely pretending to be practicing law out there in the Texas area. He's also accusing RocNation of, get this, offering to pay people to testify that were once clients of Buzbee's to testify or come and take a case against him, and they're offering anywhere from $1,000 to $10,000. Child. And we also have Megan Thee Stallion. She has filed a suit against Tory Lanez again. And I know that y'all already know that because that news has already been circulating, right? And it was for harassment. And she's looking for a restraining order. She's accusing the father of paying blogger Milagros Gramz, saying that she was paid to run smear campaigns against Megan. Child, Tory's legal team has clapped back. And we're going to read what he had to say. And finally, we are going to be talking about the celebrity, because I don't want to put just one celebrity or two celebrities, even though they're on the thumbnail, but I put them on the thumbnail to get y'all here. Anyway, the celebrity COVID funding fraud that has gone on. Child, these celebrities got $8.9 million, $5 million. They was spending that money on private jets, birthday parties. My rent was late. Jewelry, clothing, and one celebrity was tricking his money away on females that they don't even know where these females came from, honey. Yeah, we about to get into all of that hot Henny, but if you are watching over here on IG, what you watching over here for? Go to my story post, click the link, and come over here to Henny Reviews, because yes, Yeah, basically, you know what happened. Your niece hit the power switch or something, and now she unplugged the Wi-Fi. So anyway, we gonna have to continue this way. Anywho, hit the like button while we waiting for the internet to reboot up because child, your niece always be doing something. Y'all know it. Y'all internet niece just be on one sometimes, and yeah. So let's get into some of these docs, even though y'all can't see them, but I could go ahead and I could tell y'all what is going on. So we're going to be starting off with the Megan Thee Stallion, as Krishan calls her, lawsuit that she has brought up against Tory Lanez. And it is a request for civil harassment restraining order. Child. Not her asking for a restraining order and the man is behind bars. Yes, because she is alleging that he is still reaching out to her. Okay. She's saying that on July 12th, 2020, surgery. Now let's pause right there for a moment because 5 rounds fired at her. Well, at least she ain't pop up screaming, "Mom, mom, mommy," like mine, child. It's still early. Okay, so they're saying that fired 5 rounds of semi-automatic. I'm not say this, and y'all can get upset with me if y'all want to, but we saw when Tommy Lee got shot, and oh, sorry, when she got in her ankle, it was a whole hole. They're saying that there was fragments in her foot, which means that it must have ricocheted, because there's no way that you gonna have uh all of this going on and you don't have a hoe. I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding. But anyway, let's continue with what they had to do. She had to undergo surgery for serious wounds she sustained to both of her feet. On December 23rd of 2022, Mr. Peterson was convicted of 3 felony counts, 1 assault with a semi-automatic, 2. Can you flip that switch? Because somebody done turned off the Wi-Fi. Switch. In the room where in the room where your younger sister is. Which switch? The one that doesn't do nothing? Yeah. It does something. It controls the Wi-Fi. Okay. Blah, 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 1 with semi-automatic. And I read that. 2 carrying a low prison, but continues his campaign of harassment from behind bars. This is what she is alleging. Okay. So he's being hit with his personal conduct, harassment, intimidation, all of that. He can't do none of that, and he's got to stay away. I have to wait to see if yeah, it's back, but I gotta wait for it to come back up on my screen. All right, y'all. Wi-Fi back on. Y'all gotta wait for it to reload. So I'm going to show y'all this restraining order, but that's basically what it is. And then here is the relationship to the parties. Okay, so 1, Daystar Peterson, professionally known as rapper Tory Lanez, is a defendant in the criminal case People versus Daystar Peterson. Okay, held before the Honorable David. I'm trying to see if my Wi-Fi is back up yet, and it's not. I hate when that switch gets flipped. I really do because it throws everything off. Okay, David Harriford in Los Angeles Superior Court 2 on July 12th, 2022. It goes back over the charges again, which is kind of crazy to me. But Marie Henderson. This is Marie Henderson. The name is Marie. Okay, the lawyer is Mary Henderson, but the law firm is Quinn Emanuel. That's what it is. I want y'all to remember that name of Quinn Emanuel. Okay, remember the name Quinn Emanuel. All right, so This is a criminal suit that they are bringing up against her. Okay, boom. I can bring y'all back in, child. I hate doing this without y'all seeing what I'm doing because it really makes this difficult. I'm coming back, y'all. Right now. Hold on. Hold on. All right. And we're back. And we're back. And now we're going to share the camera so that y'all can see what I was talking about. Yes, can y'all see? Can y'all see? Y'all can see. Y'all can see. Y'all can see. But let me go ahead and let me do this for me, for you, for me. Because they out here being vultures in these streets, honey. They are other people's stuff and stuff. I might have to go with this one. Okay, we're stuck with this one for now. I cannot change it. It will not let me. Okay, there we go. That's better. Now y'all can see right along with me what I'm looking at. I like when this happens, when y'all can see. All right. So boom, boom, and y'all can see it for yourselves. This is the statement that I was reading right here up at the top. All of this right here is what I was reading. Now, what I find awful funny is that I don't understand how this is going to go through in court because I need the proof. I've got to understand, like, how is this going on? How is he harassing you from behind the bars? I don't get it. But that's what she's alleging. She's alleging that he is harassing her, continuing to harass her from behind the bars. Okay. She also, and I don't want to read the oh Lord, I just got an update on something. Okay. Okay, that's court docs coming in. Child, listen. I need people to get it together because this is just too much, y'all. Anyway, let's get over here to this court doc. Jesus Christ. This is so unkosher. Anyway, let's get over here. So these right here, I know y'all have heard of the payments. Y'all have heard about payments, but these are the payments, and I'm sure y'all saw this elsewhere already. I'm just giving y'all a brief little rundown on it. Child, don't be laughing. All right, don't be laughing because y'all know it be going down. All right. So they're also alleging that payments were made to content creator and blogger Milagros Gramz. Okay. Now, if you remember, she was the one who was keeping up with all of the Tory Lanez stuff that was going on. And let me move myself. I don't know if I want to do this. I didn't want to do that, but whatever. Y'all can see that there were payments that were made allegedly from Tory's father, people that were connected to him. And she was paid anywhere. She was allegedly paid anywhere from $200 to $1,000 to run a smear campaign against Megan Thee Stallion. That is what she is claiming in this suit. However, because we're not getting ready to go through all of them pages because I'm sorry, it's a lot. It's a lot, and I don't want to. All right. Plus, y'all have already heard this stuff elsewhere. All right. But I'm going to show. Oh, did y'all see all of that? Nope, y'all didn't see all of that. I was good. I was good this time. I was so good this time. You like the allegedly? Yeah. All right, so this is the suit right here, right? And it says the nature of the nature of the action. Let me see if they get to an actual facts. Because if they get to an actual facts, okay, here are the factual allegations of what Megan Thee Stallion is saying. Y'all ready? So it says the criminal trial and conversation of Mr. Peterson. To understand the context surrounding the defendant's defamatory statements, it is imperative to understand the history of Mr. Peterson's criminal conduct against Ms. Pete in his trial. Now, we are not going to reread that. That is not what we are going to do. We are going to get down here to this. Defendant is a malicious actor that operates social media accounts that spread false and harassing content. Defendant is an online social media personality. Now let's get up here. Let me just remind y'all who the defendant is. It is Milagros Gramz. That is Milagros's government name. So now we're gonna get into this part because baby, this is a hot mess right here. Okay. And we're gonna pour it all up. Now, it says the defendant is an online social media personality. Defendant controls and operates X, formerly known as Twitter, accounts under the names Mob's World, N-word girls _ and Milagros Gramz. Instagram and TikTok accounts under the username Milagros Gramz, a YouTube account under the username Mob Radio, and a station head account under her username Milagros Gramz, collectively the social media accounts. Defendant has the power to determine the subject matter and specific content that is published on her social media accounts, and to remove or refrain from publishing content if she chooses. Defendant is the sole speaker, writer, and or editor of every post on her social media account. Collectively across her social media accounts, defendant has over 100,000 followers. Defendant has publicly admitted that she is not a journalist. Rather, it is apparent that she is trying as she might to conceal it from her followers. A hired gun for Mr. Peterson. Defendant Cooper conspires with Mr. Peterson and others to intentionally spread misinformation about Miss Pete and cause severe emotional distress. Defendant has conspired with Mr. Peterson and his father to execute a widespread campaign to maliciously injure Miss Pete's reputation and to inflict severe emotional distress upon her in retaliation for her testimony regarding Mr. Peterson's unlawful act of violence against her. It is no secret that the defendant has a close relationship with Mr. Peterson. Not only has she repeatedly demonstrated her support for Mr. Peterson on social media accounts, she has publicly acknowledged her friendship with Mr. Peterson's father, Sunstar Peterson. In a February 27th, 2022 Instagram post that has since been deleted, the defendant shared a video of herself out with Sunstar Peterson. A true and correct copy of a screenshot of that post is attached below, and there you see her with Tory Lanez's daddy. While defendant's social media posts celebrating that Peterson's While defendant's social media posts celebrating the Petersons portray merely an innocent and supportive relationship, defendant also has financial incentive to act as a paid surrogate to spread defamatory statements about Miss Pete, while Mr. Peterson serves a 10-year prison sentence. Child, so now, okay, I don't know, what makes it a little suspicious is the fact that there's a transaction history that is allegedly coming from the father or from Tory himself. But it's the fact that this woman cannot support Like, are we gonna get? Am I gonna get sued if I don't support her? Is that what's gonna? Child, I don't understand what's going on. In an October 29, 2024 live stream posted to her social media accounts, defendant implied that she is still on Mr. Peterson's payroll. This is consistent with statements made by defendant's former best friend, King Noir, who exposed defendant for working alongside Mr. Peterson to smear Miss Pete's reputation. King Noir is snitching. I can't make this up. I cannot make this up. King Noir stated that defendants talked to Tory's daddy. Not daddy. Not daddy. King Noir states that defendant talks to Tory's daddy in an effort to leak information to the press that comes from Mr. Peterson himself. Moreover, Mr. Peterson's prison call log demonstrates Mr. Peterson has repeatedly discussed defendant with his father. What? Bro, y'all still doing stuff on prison files? Y'all just be bunking the system. Y'all really be sitting back acting like when it says this call is monitored, y'all act like whatever the rest of the recording says, y'all act like that is just for play, and y'all still out here running y'all mouths on these phones and stuff. Y'all ain't learned. Child, y'all gonna learn today. Anyway, Mr. Peters, okay, blah, 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 blah. All right, in one phone call, the Petersons confidently asserted that Miss Pete would be unable to prove that Mr. Peterson paid defendant for attacking Miss Pete. I need to hear that recording. Tory, what are you doing? On information and belief, defendant has also coordinated with Mr. Peterson's criminal defense attorney, the same attorneys who have now agreed to represent her in this civil lawsuit. What? So she using Tory lawyers to defend her against Megan P. Lord have mercy. To spread misinformation related to Mr. Peterson's trial, conviction, and appeal. As an early example of defendant's relationship with Mr. Peterson prior criminal defense attorneys, defendant released confidential information to the public ahead of its disclosure in court in an attempt to manufacture a false narrative about Mr. Peterson and rally the public against Miss Pete. So I guess it's not the fact that she told us she stepped on glass and then turned around and told us that he pow-powed her in the feet. And we found out it was fragments in her feet, but we didn't see no holes in her feet. And then it's not the fact that she told us that they weren't sleeping together, but then she got on Gayle King and said that they were sleeping together. I guess none of that stuff really made people side-eye the situation and start looking at things like kind of differently. I don't know. I'm not victim blaming. I'm just asking questions because I'm just saying like, this wasn't the only thing that made people start feeling away, and it's the fact that her back was to them. So if a witness testified that he saw the shorter man and the girl tussling over the went off, I'm just thinking out loud now, and it's fragments, then isn't it possible, being that the both of them, both Tory and Kelsey, had shot residue on them, isn't it possible that it went off in the struggle, hit the ground, and it ricocheted and she got them fragments in her feet? I'm just asking a question because that's what I'm thinking in my head. But let me shut up. I should shut up. Henny Glasses in the chat if I should shut up. I'm just asking because I'm thinking out loud. Like I'm not I'm not victim blaming. I'm not shaming. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just saying, let me shut up. I'm going to get back to the court docs. I'm going to get back over here where I was at. Okay. Yeah. For instance, in a February 23rd, 2023 live stream posted to her ex account, defendant admitted that she and blogger Livingston Allen, DJ Academics, y'all, got the same sources that Mr. Peterson's DNA was not present on the firearm. And we know that. This source should only have been Mr. Peterson's then criminal defense attorneys to whom the DNA report was turned over. In truth, the pretrial hearing on February 23rd, 2022, held after defendant and Mr. Allen shared the misinformation regarding Mr. Peterson's DNA. No one stated that Mr. Peterson's DNA was not found on the firearm. In reality, the DNA results from the firearm were inconclusive, meaning that Mr. Peterson could not be excluded or included as one of the possible contributors of the mixed genetic material. Mixed genetic material means that there's more than one and it has combined, and they cannot make a positive identification as to whose DNA is actually on there. But we went over this in my other Tory Lanez video that I did, because the police did not bother to DNA test anybody else. They did not DNA test Kelsey. They did not DNA test Megan. They did not DNA test the driver. They didn't DNA test nobody else that was in that car that night, only him. So how would you be able to come to a conclusion when you have 4 people that were involved in a situation, but only one person's DNA was collected? Remember, I did a video and I was saying that the police fumbled this case and that it looked like they was just targeting, like they had the person that they had their sights on and they were just targeting. That's what I was trying to say. And now it is still being spoken about in this lawsuit here. They said, nope, keep going, Henny glasses. All right. So, on information and belief, defendant also coordinated with the Petersons to employ online bot accounts to attack Miss Pete and supporters for hateful, derogatory Miss Pete and her supporters with hateful, derogatory, and malicious statements on social media. So now she done got bots to help her do her work. Child. Further, defendant has used her social media platform to incite violence against Miss Pete. On December 21st of 2022, defendant posted a live stream video on her Instagram account where she stated I'ma slap the, and whatever comes after it, comes after it. Defendant's statement is reasonably understood to refer to Miss Pete and her involvement in Mr. Peterson's trial. Okay, first of all, a lot of us done said that online, so I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be saying that. We're going to continue. Defendant knew and or should have known that Miss Pete was susceptible to severe emotional distress regarding the false and disproven theories defendant shared on behalf of Mr. Peterson. So I'm going to shut up and keep reading. Defendant was present for the trial and Miss Pete's testimony. During her testimony, Miss Pete laminated that she has been turned into some kind of a villain and wishes he would have just powed or unalived her. If I knew, I would have to go through this torture. She also testified to suffering from self-unaliving thoughts since the shooting. By consciously coordinating with Miss Pete's convicted assaulter to amplify Mr. Peterson's disapproved and baseless theories to help him seek retribution against Miss Pete, defendant engaged in extreme and outrageous conduct that has caused and continues to cause Miss Pete severe emotional distress. Now, let me just say this. we're going to stop there because there's really no need for us to continue on with all of it because I know you guys have heard this already and I think that we have heard enough. Let me just say this, and I don't know Milagros Gramz. I am not paid by her. I'm not an associate. She don't follow me. No, none of that stuff. But I'm going to say this. As content creators, we have a right to think for ourselves. As content creators, I don't see where there is a law that is against us receiving any type of monetary gain. However, I can say this, that if you are being paid to smear campaign somebody, then that is wrong. However, she's also entitled to her own thoughts. And I have been in some of her lives and I haven't heard her speak about Megan in a very, very long time. And I'm talking about even before her, this lawsuit and stuff came about. I haven't heard her speak on Megan, but I will say this. There are women in this chat and many of us have uttered some of that rhetoric ourselves. If my friend would have slept with my dude behind my back, I would have. We've all said that. Now, I'm not sticking up and I'm not saying what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. I'm not doing none of that. I'm commenting on the content and I'm reporting on the content. Okay. I need people to understand that I am not emotionally invested in any of this. Okay. I'm just speaking on it. All right. But I feel like, since Cardi has taken suit against Tasha K, I think some people feel like they can just come for content creators for anything that is done. Now, if she received payment from the Daystar family, then yeah, why were you paid? Now we want to know because y'all done made it our business because now this is in a public record. So we want to know what you got paid for. Okay. But if she got up here and acted on her own free will, then what? Because I'm going to be honest with you. I really feel like they don't know who did it and it was just put on Tory. And I'm saying that based off of the fact that she has admitted that her back was turned. So how do you know? I mean, she said that he pointed at her feet and said, "Dance B." But it's in the, never mind. I don't want to rehash it. I don't even feel like going through it with people. All I'm going to say is this is crazy. This is crazy. That's what I'm gonna say about it. This is crazy work. I have that off of there for now. Now, her lawyer has put in a motion to dismiss. Okay. Well, this is their rebuttal to this. This cause came before the court. Defendant Milagros Elizabeth Cooper motion to dismiss the complaint filed on November 26, 2024. On December 10th of 2024, the plaintiff filed the First Amendment complaint. So order and a judge that the defendant Milagros Cooper's motion to dismiss complaint denied as moot. So the courts are not willing. I didn't even show y'all. The courts are not willing to deny this motion. Not willing to grant the motion to dismiss. But Tory's team did, or the lawyers, they did speak back out against this. And I'm going to pull that up for y'all right now because I did have everything all pulled up. But I'm going to tell you what happened. What had happened was the internet went down. That's what had happened was. So now this is the response. And it says, for immediate release, statement from Caesar Dowell, CEO and co-founder of Unite the People, Inc. regarding recent allegations. We are issuing a brief statement in response to the recent accusations made against our client, Mr. Daystar Peterson, aka Tory Lanez, by Miss Megan Pete, aka Megan. It's Thee Stallion, but they put The Stallion. Our approach will focus on logic and common sense. In regard to the ridiculous claim that a writ of habeas corpus was actually filed prior to the release of Miss Pete's documentary in an attempt to undermine her work is ludicrous. We would like to point out the appellate courts impose strict timelines for when filings and responses must occur. Are the accusers now suggesting that the courts are trying to disrupt Miss Pete's documentary? Our client, Mr. Peterson, was simply complying with those legal deadlines as required by the courts. As for the Zelle transaction of $3,000, we must ask the public not to jump to conclusions. The legal process will not only address these matters, but prove 100% without a shadow of a doubt that they had nothing to do with Mr. Daystar Peterson. I said Mr. Daystar, I meant Mr. Peterson earlier, or his case at all. We trust that the facts will come to light in court. We believe that the funds sent by Mr. Sunstar Peterson will be fully accounted for and not connected to our client. This issue will be resolved by the lawyers and the courts, where the truth will be revealed. On a broader note, I believe it is important to consider the pattern of behavior we are seeing. When someone has openly admitted to lying on a major public platform such as Gayle King's show and others to people, at what point do we as a society stop believing the narrative they are pushing? We ask ourselves, is enough? We ask ourselves, is enough enough? I think they meant we ask ourselves, is enough enough? But whatever. We trust that the truth will be fully examined and proven through the legal process, and we remain 100% confident in our case. So they are not going down without a fight. Okay? Call someone a liar. Call me a liar without calling me a liar, because that sounds like what they did. Jeez, please. This is going to be ugly, folks. And we are going to bring you all the hot Henny on it. I promise y'all we will. So, moving right along. Busby has filed suit. He has filed suit against RocNation, child. We about to get into that. Hold on 1 second, about to pull it up. I also have another case that I have not spoken to y'all about. Oh, Lord, here we go. Oh, I got to show. Put myself down here. Unite the People, Inc. Yep. All right. So this is Gerardo Garcia versus Marcy Bryant Croft, RocNation LLC, MJ Legal PA, Jessica Santiago, and Quinn Emanuel. Now, didn't we just hear Quinn Emanuel over there in the other suit that was going on? That's why I said, remember that name, Quinn Emanuel, because it was going to come up again, and it's in this lawsuit. This is part of the Buzbee case. I'm trying to get my screen how I want it. Okay. Now, I'm going to read this first half, and then we're going to start going through some of it. Child, it says, plaintiff files this original petition against defendants Marcy Bryant Croft, okay, investigator Jessica Santiago, RocNation LLC, and Quinn Emanuel Uquart and Sullivan LLP, which is still Quinn Emanuel, seeking damages, and respectfully shows this honorable court the following. Defendants have conspired to obstruct justice by engaging shadowy operatives to illegally seek out more than 24 current and former clients of the Busby law firm to convince those clients to bring frivolous cases against the Busby law firm. Defendants RocNation is financing the efforts. RocNation is footing the bill, okay? Its attorneys, Marcy Croft and Emmanuel Quinn, are orchestrating the efforts. In some cases, defendants' agents pretended to work for the state of Texas. Do y'all hear this? And have flashed fake badges. Soliciting clients is a crime in the state of Texas. Paying individuals to file false claims is unethical and criminal in the state of Texas. Impersonating a state official is a crime. In at least one case, defendants' agents offered as much as $10,000 to a former client of the Buzbee law firm to sue the firm. Unfortunately for the defendants, their agents were not very smart. Unfortunately for the defendants, the agents were not very smart or careful. Their agents were caught on audio tape red-handed, not knowing that they were being recorded. Defendant's agents admitted that defendant Marcy Croft, a licensed Texas lawyer and member of Team Rock, was orchestrating the effort, and in another recording, those agents described the criminal conspiracy in great detail, going as far as to admitting that the lawsuit would be in the press and that some former clients had already accepted money to join the effort. Y'all done got recorded and caught with y'all pants down. RocNation and Jay-Z are synonymous. Jay-Z is founder and chairman of RocNation. At the same time, the illegal conduct described herein continues. The Busby law firm is pursuing claims on behalf of at least one client against Jay-Z in New York federal court. And as a result of that client's claims, Jay-Z sued the Busby law firm in Los Angeles State Court. That is the John Doe case. Defendant Quinn Emanuel, who represents Jay-Z in both cases and who has frequently represented RocNation, deemed in open court and in the press involvement in the such scheme described herein. Oh, baby, this is getting good. Oh, I love a good drama. Don't y'all love a good drama? I love a good drama. That denial was a bold-faced lie. They called them straight up a liar. The illegal effort described here with RocNation is funding, and defendant Croft and defendant Quinn Emanuel are orchestrating, is intended to interfere with the Busby law firm's ability to represent its clients and offer punitive evidence to the authorities. As part of the schemes, defendants attempted to use the plaintiff herein as a pawn. On behalf of the defendant, Marcy Croft, two individuals approached the plaintiff. They were pushy. They told him he had to talk to them because they were with the state, child. They told him that they were putting together a lawsuit on behalf of the defendant, Marcy Croft. Croft. Oh, excuse me. And the company she was working for, and that she would assign his case to someone who could get him a lot of money. Thankfully, rather than go along with their illegal efforts, the plaintiff recorded them instead. He now files suit for bartery, both a criminal and civil action in the in the state of Texas. This is just one of the multiple cases to be filed by the plaintiffs who have illegally solicited by investigators working as part of a cabal headquarters in New York City. Defendant has a long history of the type of abusive and egregious conduct described herein because they have gotten away with it for so long. Defendants think that they can come down to Texas and do whatever they choose with impunity. They are wrong. Their behavior has consequences both civilly and criminally. If this ain't the shadiest court doc, Henny Glasses in the chat if this is the shadiest court doc that we have read, honey. So now here we get into the transcript, baby. And in this transcript, it is them talking back and forth. You see PI and the client. The PI is the private investigator, right? And they're asking this person, Gerardo, okay, if he has time so that they can make an appointment to talk and show him the paperwork. Okay, he says yes. They say what time? He says look at 5 p.m. One thing, if I sign that contract, is there some money that you will pay me first? So the PI says depends on the lawyer, but what you will sign today is only a contract to investigate, giving permission to the lawyers to conduct investigation into your case to see what happened and to recommend a separate lawyer more familiar with your kind of case, but she will not charge anything, and the separate lawyer also does not require any money. Only at the conclusion do we take out our fee if they are able to recover the money that you are entitled to. So they're telling him that he's entitled to some money, right? So he says that lawyer is from the state or a private lawyer, right? So the PI says to him, it's a private lawyer. We are from the state, but it's a private lawyer that knows what the Buzbee firm is doing. For example, last night someone signed up with us, and in his case, Buzbee was depositing his checks in Buzbee's private account and not into the account for the lawyers, and he was charging the interest and taking that money. And he was stealing the checks from insurance. And so he didn't know that Buzbee was stealing, right? I'm talking to y'all like I'm telling y'all this, all right? Okay. That was his case. Now, I don't know how much your case, I don't know much about your case, but the lawyer you will speak to today, she'll explain that she will open your case, see what happened with you. Okay, so she's gonna open the case, see what happened to him. All right. But your name appeared on the list of people that may have something unusual, and she wants to investigate your case. And then she will recommend someone more familiar with your case to recover all the money. Now, remember, this is the transcript. So now this Gerardo dude, he says, and they're from the state. So Jessica, that's the PI, because it just clicked. Jessica, the PI, she goes, the lawyer is from here, Texas, and also has a license in New York. Us, the investigators, are from the state, but we are not lawyers. But the lawyer has her license here in Texas and also in New York, right? So Gerardo goes, that class action is just for certain people who have had cases with the lawyer. So Jessica goes exactly with that lawyer. We have 70 people in the class action that had problems because there are frauds with that lawyer Buzbee. Child. Last night, the man who we spoke with, he has 2 cases because Buzbee was putting his checks in the private checking account. That's a criminal case. Okay, but he also has separate cases where he can recover the fees that Buzbee owes him. So he has 2 cases. We didn't know that until the lawyer last explained and told him, no, you have 2 cases, one criminal and the other to recover your money. Now, we don't know about your case because the lawyer first needs to open your case and investigate what happened with you. So it's possible you have 2 cases as well, depending on what Buzbee did to you. So Gerardo goes, and so if I sign, there's money, right? So he's asking them like, listen, y'all want this? Y'all want me to sign this paperwork? Am I getting paid to do this? So Jessica goes, there's money that will be recovered, of course. The money that you are owed, and you will not need to go to court because there's a lot of people in the class action, more than 70, who have signed up with this lawyer. So child, Geraldo and them, they go on and they continue to talk. And you know, he wants to know, so the agreement, I can see it. And she's like, yes. And she goes on to say, we have, you know, again, we have 70 people in the class action lawsuit. It's like she just keeps repeating that to him. So he goes, what kind of percentage can I collect with this? Or what can I? And she goes, depends on your case, because all cases are different. The document I will show you today explains that it gives permission to open your case and to see what happened, but she will not charge you anything for it, but she will recommend someone familiar. So now Geraldo interrupts Jessica, and he says, sorry to interrupt. The lawyer will be present today, or just you? So Jessica says, me and my partner, but she's working now. But she told me we can contact her at any time. So now they go on and this conversation ends, but you can clearly hear that there is something going on. But now I want y'all to turn y'all eyes to the affidavit of Skylar Taylor. These next two ones, pay attention, okay? So Skylar, she lives out there in Louisiana, right? And so she's saying that she's making this affidavit. It's her personal knowledge and it's correct and true, and she's of sound mind and all of that. So now she's saying that 3 men from New York came and visited her at her grandma's home on multiple occasions, and they showed up unannounced, demanding to speak with her, and she didn't know them. And she said when she spoke to them, they told her they were investigators hired by an attorney that was contacting the Busby law firm clients, right? So they were trying to get her to join the class action lawsuit, and they refused to provide her with any other information outside of that, right? So the investigation company, they told the investigation company they worked for, and she says, without knowing any details of my case, the men attempted to convince her to file a lawsuit against her attorneys at the Busby law firm, right? So she says those men offered her money to sign on as a client with them, and that they stated that they had paid former clients of Busby, of the Busby firm, $1,000 to sign. So they were offering her $1,000 just to sign on and say, you know, let them see the case so that she'd go ahead and say that he did something fraudulent to her, right? But now get over here to Shannon Champagne, because she's also in the state of Louisiana, and she made this, and she claims that 3 men from New York also visited her on multiple occasions unannounced and demanded to speak with her. And she said when she spoke with them, they basically told her the same thing, only these men offered to pay her to sign, and they offered her $10,000 in exchange for signing with them as a client. So you've got people that are making affidavits in the court saying that these people are working on behalf of Jessica, who works for RocNation, who's a part of the Quinn Emanuel firm. And all of these people are trying to get people to say that they have cases against the Busby firm, and they're alleging that the Busby firm was not paying them their money, but instead was doing wicked stuff, right? But remember, I read y'all a case where somebody was alleging that already. Child, when I tell you that this thing between Buzbee and Jay-Z, I told y'all it was going to get ugly, and it's getting real ugly between them, child. It's getting ugly because now you trying to go and solicit his ex-clients and tell them that he did some wrongful practices. Child. This is crazy. This is crazy work right here. I don't know what to say, because I've never heard of anything like this before in my life. I've never seen anything like this before in my life. And this is about to go down because this is an actual lawsuit. Let me just go back. I don't think I have anything. Do I have something else? They have the audio transcripts of them talking. And in these transcripts, you have them talking about how the investigators are speaking with someone. Who is this? Telephonic transcript. I'm not going to read all of this. Okay. I'm just going to summarize it for y'all, because all of this right here, I don't even understand all of that. But basically, what's happening in this one is that those same investigators contacted somebody else and told him that somebody had already won like $80,000 from their case, but they're still trying to solicit somebody. And this is an actual transcript of a recording that they have. Just like the first one that I read with Gerardo, that one was a transcript of a recording that he had. So in this recording, they're offering this person money to sign on as well with Buzbee. So they are going around, let me use it, allegedly, and they are trying to solicit Buzbee's ex-clients and offer them to sign on so that they could pay them whatever it is that they feel that Buzbee may have stolen from them. Now, I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm not saying he's guilty. But what I'm saying is everybody is kung fu fighting in the court docs, baby. This is a whole mess. Do you hear me? We're going to keep an eye on this as it develops because, like I said, it is this gentleman's and they're showing that this Marcy person definitely works with Jay-Z. They were showing the connections. This is her Instagram and she's posting stuff. Team Rock. Thanks at Team Rock. We appreciate everything you're doing to help Mississippi and all of that. So they're breaking that down in these court docs, but I want y'all to come on down to the bottom because this is respectfully submitted, the Buzbee law firm. So now what happened and how they got this information is because this dude, Gerardo, he went back to Buzbee, just like all of these people. All four of these people went back to Buzbee and told him this story. Allegedly. Okay. And now they have filed suit. So that means that this is going to be coming up into court. And this is filed in the District Court of Harrison County, Texas. So this is right there in their hometown of Texas. It does not look to be a federal case. It looks to be a local case. So this one should move a lot quicker than some of these federal cases that we have going on. But yeah, we're going to keep an eye on this one for y'all because, baby, Buzbee and Jay-Z are not out here playing. I don't know what's going to happen with these two. I want to see if they're going to actually rebuttal with another lawsuit because that's how it seems like this feud has been going between them. But I'm also going to turn your attention to this right here. It seems that there are 3 cases that Jay-Z's lawyers are trying to get dismissed. Okay. It says, I gotta read this first line. Buzbee is a bombastic attorney in Houston, Texas, who is fond of saying sunlight is the best disinfectant. Like, what? Withstanding his professed love for transparency, Mr. Buzbee and the Buzbee firm used their attorney-client relationship with plaintiff Matthew Ray Thompson Jr. to take over 60% of Mr. Thompson's Jones Act settlement. Now, that's what they were talking about in the other one. So this is not a dismissal. Hold on one second, because I was trying to get to the dismissal, child. They're trying to dismiss some of these cases. This is one of the cases Jay-Z's lawyer included for dismissal. Okay, so it is. I want to get to the part. Based on information and belief, defendants failed to deposit Mr. Thompson's maintenance and cure payments. Okay. But rather deposited these funds into the Buzbee law firm. Oh, it's not there. Hold on. Into the Buzbee law firm's operating account for its own use and benefit, including loaning Mr. Thompson's funds back to him with interest. Defendant, without any claim or title or ownership, continued to withhold and use these funds for its own benefits throughout Mr. Thompson's lawsuit, despite his repeated demands to release the maintenance and cure payments that had been paid for his benefits. So that's one of the cases that they had brought up. Listen, we'll get into those probably tomorrow. Oh my God, there's a bunch of them. That's what was coming in while we were on the line. Okay. But before we go, there's one more case that I want y'all to look at, because Jay-Z's lawyer, oh man, it's not highlighted. Dang it. It looks like Jay-Z's lawyer oh no, that's not it. I thought I had something else for y'all. We're going to go over the Buzbee cases that RocNation is bringing up. I have to laugh because this is a mess. It is a whole mess, and it's not done because there's stuff that was coming in as of 9:40 this evening. There was more stuff coming in. So I need time to put all of that together. It's about 3 of them, I believe, that I have. But I want y'all to look at this. Y'all remember the Jane Doe lawsuit that started all of this? Where they named Jay-Z, they named Sean Carter. Well, Anthony, we're going to talk about Anthony. Is that his name? Is it Anthony Spiro? Either way, Jay-Z's attorney, he just may have outed Jennifer Lopez as being celebrity B in the Jane Doe lawsuit. So I'm going to read this whole paragraph, and we're going to pay attention to the highlighted portion. Plaintiffs supported all unsupported allegations crumbled under scrutiny as the evidence and lack thereof reveals glaring inconsistencies and outright impossibilities in her story. Her account describes a jumbotron at the scene of the VMA Awards, but according to NYPD sources, the MTV producers, no such jumbotron existed. MTV applied for a permit to install one, but was denied. She referenced the house and supposedly fits the description of the location of the alleged assault, but no such house exists. The plaintiff allegations became more dubious when considering nightclub evidence. Photographs from the night in question shows Mr. Combs and Miss Jennifer Lopez at both Blue Lotus and Twirl clubs in New York. NBC reported that photos separately show that Mr. Carter was at Blue Lotus following the VMAs. Taken together, the factual inconsistencies, timeline impossibilities, and lack of corroborating evidence makes the plaintiff's allegations in the FAC wholly unrelatable. So you're saying, y'all tell me if this is a reach. If he's saying that Jay-Z was at Blue Lotus, right? And Jennifer Lopez and Diddy was at Lotus together. And this girl is saying that there was Diddy, celebrity A, and celebrity B, and celebrity A was Jay-Z. Is it safe to say that it's a possibility that he just outed that Jennifer Lopez would be celebrity B? I don't know what he was thinking by doing that. But for me, it would only make sense if this is what he's saying, that she would be considered to be celebrity B, because they said in that lawsuit that celebrity B is a female. And so if celebrity B is a female and the only female there was Jennifer Lopez, Then he outed her. I'm just saying, that's what it sounds like to me. Okay, it says, though photos show Miss Lopez in a different outfit at the nightclubs than what she wore to the VMAs, it is clear those photos were taken on the same evening because her jewelry and accessories appear unchanged. So she changed her clothes. Another highlighted point in this is the photos from the night also show Mr. Combs and Miss Lopez attended parties at 2 nightclubs on the night in question, which is Lotus and Twirl. They're repeating themselves, okay? I'm trying to see, did they actually include the photos? Because I don't recall seeing them. No, they did not. So Alex has basically outed that Jenny from the block could possibly be celebrity B. Okay, so this is the last piece right here. It says, declaration of Alex Spiro in support of defendant Sean Carter, emergency motion for an order to show cause and an order for the preservation of evidence and to strike the complaint and dismiss Mr. Carter from this action pursuant to federal CVP 12F. I, Alex Spiro, swear under penalty of perjury as follows. I'm a partner at Emmanuel Quinn. Counsel to defendant Sean Carter in the above caption action. If called as a witness, I could and would testify competently to the information contained herein. Attached here to Exhibit 1 is a true, correct copy of the complaint in civil action. Okay. Attached here to Exhibit 2 is a true and correct copy of complaint in civil action. Both of those are in Louisiana. And it says attached here to as Exhibit 3 is a true and correct copy of the summonses in the matter of Jane Doe versus Anthony Buzbee. So they have a Jane Doe case, and they fought so hard about Jane Doe cases. Oh, I'm sorry. This is a Busby case. I'm in the wrong file. But yeah, that makes 4. That makes 4. That makes 4 that we're going to go over tomorrow, because we ain't going over that tonight because it's already late and I kind of just want to get y'all to where y'all need to get to. But child. Close some of these windows out because we don't need all of this. We've already gone through this. Oh, I may have a no. I'm gonna save that for tomorrow. I'm gonna save it for tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll give y'all an update. So let's get into this right here, because this is the breezy. I don't want to talk about this. This is the breezy case, the article that accused Breezy, Wheezy, Allison Chains, and a few others of COVID fraud. Okay, this is from the Business Insider. It says how rich musicians build American taxpayers for luxury hotels, shopping sprees, and $1 million bonuses. What I don't like is that he is the cover person for this article and Wayne was the cover person for the other article. There were other people involved. So why is not, well, Wayne is there too. It's Wayne, it's Breezy. I think that's DJ Marshmello that they have up there. Those 3 right there. But anyway, let's get into some of this, okay? It says many musicians struggled during the pandemic. Lil Wayne wasn't one of them. He sold master recordings from his record label's artists for more than $100 million. He was pardoned for a felony gun possession in the last-minute action by the President Donald Trump. He purchased a $15.4 million mansion in the mountains of Los Angeles. And as a Business Insider investigation found, he received an $8.9 million grant from a little-known pandemic relief program that he used to cover more than 2 years' worth of spending on luxury hotel stays, designer clothes, and travel to and from nightclub appearances around the country. The rapper, whose real name is Dwayne Carter Jr., spent more than $1.3 million from the grant on private jet flights, and over $460,000 on clothes and accessories, many of them from high-end brands like Gucci and Balenciaga. He billed taxpayers more than $175,000 for expenses related to a music festival promoting his Mary Jane brand. I don't know how to say it. Gucca. Okay. Including clothing for artists associated with his record label. He also used grant money to cover $15,000 worth of flights and luxury hotel rooms for women whose connection to Lil Wayne's touring operation was unclear, including a waitress at a Hooters type restaurant and a porn actress. He tricked away $15,000 on random women that he didn't know. What are we doing something wrong? What are we doing wrong? And here they show us that he spent $1,990 on this ugly behind Balenciaga shirt, $200 on Converse X Rick Owens sneakers, a Balenciaga belt, $950 on pants, $405 on a baseball cap, $230 on some Doc Martens. Okay. On New Year's Eve 2021, he was scheduled to perform at a concert in Coachella, California. But shortly before his set was scheduled to start, a concert employee announced that the rapper would be unable to perform because of the wind and the flights. The crowd booed. Wind gusts of 20 to 30 miles were reported in Southern California that night, but data from Flight Trader 24 indicated 4 other private jets flew the exact route Lil Wayne was scheduled to fly. Instead, posts on Instagram suggested that he partied that night at a club on Sunset Boulevard with the rapper 2 Chainz. Now, they go on to give you a breakdown of how Lil Wayne spent his grant. So he spent $2.14 million on settling a debt owed to his ex-manager, Cortez Bryant. He spent $1.71 million on commissions to his then manager, Mac Main. $1.38 million on private jets. $590.7K on lawyers at Grubman Shire, $589.7 on accountants, $528,000 on clothes, $327.3K on contractors who worked on Lil Wayne's shows, $300K settling a debt owed to a former accountant, $14.9K mystery women, and $1.3 million on everything else. Okay. Lil Wayne's publicist did not respond to numerous requests for comments on detailed questions. Reached by text, Lil Wayne made a sexually explicit overture to a reporter and did not respond to questions. I think he told them FYSMD. The money came from a program called the Shuttered Venue Operators Grant, signed into law by Trump in 2020 and championed by lawmakers, including Chuck Schumer. It was established as a lifeline for struggling independent venues and art groups during the pandemic. But pop stars used the program as a piggy bank to keep the party going, reporting by Insider by Business Insider's shows, okay? The star's spending took place against a backdrop of massive pandemic relief fund, fraud. The Paycheck Program, the PPP, and the Economic Industrial Disaster Loans gave out as much as $200 billion in suspicious false claims, losses that combined with false unemployment benefit claims amount to what the FBI has called the largest fraud in history. Compared with hold on one second. Okay. Where were we? Compared with those better known programs, the shuttered venue operators grant had relatively strict eligibility requirements, okay? Still, accounting firms and money managers soon realized their stadium filling musician clients might be eligible for grant money via their loan out companies. Corporate entities used to handle the business of touring. Grants awarded to clients of one high-powered entertainment business manager firm, NKSFB, totaled at least $270 million. Business Insider previously reported NKSFB itself collected more than $7 million by helping its clients obtain grants. The managing partner, Mickey Siegel, did not respond to requests for comments. The firm's lawyer, Bryant Friedman, said the firm, we're going to say that, did not comment on its client's finances. Grantees received up to $10 million that can be spent on certain ordinary and necessary expenses for their entertainment businesses. They had to make a good faith statement to the Small Business Administration, which oversaw the program. That the grant was necessary to support the loan out company's ongoing operations and show that the company's revenue had fallen by at least 25% between one quarter of 2019 and the same quarter in 2020. In a statement, the SBA said it followed the law, but the law directed the SBA to examine revenue, not assets. Musicians with huge bank accounts and multiple mansions were still eligible for the awards as long as their loan out company's revenue had declined. Thousands of pages of accounting documents reviewed by Business Insider revealed for the first time how some wealthy musicians, including Chris Brown, DJ Marshmello, and members of Alice in Chains, spent grants they received through the program. The documents include detailed records explaining how celebrity musicians spent their grants, as well as correspondence between their accountants and the SBA. Business Insider has verified the authenticity of the documents. They reveal how artists directed millions in taxpayer fraud, not toward touring crew members, but instead towards their own bank accounts, luxury purchases, and entertainment expenses, often while sitting on substantial wealth from other business ventures. One top government accountability expert said one of the spending Business Insiders identified was questionable, but stopped short of saying it was fraudulent. Okay, so basically, all right, here we get into a $80,000 birthday party. Lil Wayne wasn't the only one engaging in questionable grant spending. Chris Brown spent his grant on a big paycheck, and a big party. Of the $10 million grant Brown Company CBE Touring received, $5.1 million went to Brown personally. So he had his own touring company. His touring company did apply for this grant. They received it, and he personally took $5.1 million out of it. Okay. He also billed taxpayers nearly $80,000 for his 33rd birthday. The blowout held in the Lux Los Angeles event space featured a $3,650 LED dance floor and atmosphere models, nude women with body painting who cost $2,100 according to the expense report. The bill included more than $29,000 for hookahs, bottle service, nitrogen ice cream, and damages involving burn holes in the rented couches. So he also had more than $179,000 of grant money that went towards a celebrity basketball tournament broadcasted on YouTube, including $20,000 payment to the Indianapolis Colts tight end Mo Alley Cox, who played on Brown's basketball team. And this is how they're saying that he spent the money. So he spent $5.11 million went to him. Okay, he spent $1.33 million on insurance. He paid $823K to his manager. Okay, $556.7K to the accountants. He paid $498,000 to Grubman Shire, which is the same lawyers that Wayne used. $383.1 on crew payroll. 179.4K on the basketball tournament, 79.2K on his birthday, and $1 million on everything else. Okay. Now, Brown's attorney and managers didn't respond to the request for comments. Representative of Howell and Alley Cox also didn't respond to requests for comments. All right. Then you get to DJ Marshmello, whose real name is Christopher Comstock. He received $9.9 million in grants. Okay. More than a year later, when the SBA asked for proof of where it went, his business manager responded by saying all the money went into Comstock's pocket. So his business manager spilled the beans on him. Because the beneficiary received a 2009 officer touring company. Okay. The execs and the grantor were, we therefore expense the entire grant balance to payroll. So basically they're saying that he was paid, that was a payroll payment. In other words, Comstock made more than $9.9 million from touring in 2019. He was unable to award himself the entire grant. In doing so, Comstock paid himself more than any other musician who received grant money. Comstock's publicist and his managers did not reply to requests for comments. And so we go on to Steven, I don't know how to say his last name, was a loan out company, DJ Kid Millionaire Touring. And he used $2.4 million in the grant money on payroll costs, of which $1.9 million was officer pay. Okay. It's just going on and on. And let's see, Alice in Chains. Alice in Chains, their manager didn't respond either. Nobody has responded to these people. Okay, Alice in Chains singer and guitarist Jerry took $1.4 million. Okay, they also had a band member who passed away, and they ended up having to do a GoFundMe for him after receiving their monies. All right, so my issue with this right here is when we go back up to where I was reading about the SBA and all of that, right? I posed this question on my IG, so I'm going to pose this question here as well. Damn, the numbers are really low tonight. Who's responsible here? Who's responsible here? Because what we're seeing is, and I'm going to have to wrap this up soon because I see it's about that time for my computer. My computer said it's time to go night-night. All right. Anyway, what we're seeing here is that they applied for grant money through their companies, and then they paid themselves. Now, if you're going to offer out money and just give it out willy-nilly without doing no investigating, without requiring very much in the way of proof, because let's be real, during the pandemic, a lot of people got a lot of money that they weren't entitled to. Let's be honest. The PPP loans, the SBA loans, and now these grants and all this other stuff that was going out, all this money that was being shelled out to people, and barely any investigating being done. It wasn't until all of the money was done, all of the money was shelled out, because I can tell you, I know personally the SBA was pushing loans on people. If you got a loan from them, you would get another proposal for another amount, and the amount was higher. So y'all are giving away all of this money, but then y'all are mad at the way that people spent the money. You can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. I feel like maybe this is my criminal mind, but I feel like the government needs to just eat the bill. Eat the bill, because y'all didn't do any of your due diligence at all. Y'all didn't make sure that y'all got financial records the way that y'all was supposed to. Y'all didn't make sure that people was checking in and giving y'all all the proof that you needed. I know that there were people that were saying that they own certain businesses, transportation businesses and all types of things, that were getting all of these millions in PPP loans and all of that, but they didn't have to show them anything. How is that possible? He needs water.
You don't drink out of there.
But anyway, I feel like this. When you say you got free money, everybody's coming. And what I want to know is, why are we so focused on all of the African American people, the melanated people that got these funds and these grants, right? But we're not focused on any of these companies that got this money that weren't entitled to this money. We're not focused on any of the millionaires that got money that they shouldn't have gotten. We're not focused on any of that. Instead, we want to focus on the entertainment side of things. And we want to keep putting all of these people out here that are of melanated complexion. Why is that? Why is it that this narrative is still being painted like we're the biggest crooks and criminals in this country, when in all actuality, we're not? We're not the biggest. This country was built on criminal behavior and criminal acts. So how could it ever be offended that criminal behavior was done back? Now, I'm not calling Breezy and all of them criminals, but in their eyes, that's what they're deeming them as. And I just feel like they got you. And you should take that out. You should take that out. There were people in Congress and in government that were getting these loans and getting this money that they weren't entitled to, that I can guarantee you that they have not paid back, and the SBA won't go to them to try to get it back either. And here's the other part to that. The SBA loans are unforgivable. Meaning you can't ask to get them forgiven. You can't even add them into your bankruptcy. But let's talk about the fraud that happened from the call center. You had people that were working in those call centers that would tell you, okay, such and such and such and such. They'll send you an email. You send them a piece of document and they're not verifying nothing. They're throwing the document into the file and hitting approved. You really need to look at what was going on in your offices and how this stuff was getting slid past your desk. Start investigating in-house before you start coming after people, because you can't get mad because people got you. You got. People get robbed every day, B. You be all right. And in a country that prints its own money, I'm sorry, y'all definitely will be all right. I'm just saying. Anyway, that's it for tonight. Yes, I feel like student loans should have been forgiven. I think student loans should be forgiven, period. We're going to continue on with the Buzbee Jay-Z thing. I don't know what the heck is going on with this channel on YouTube. Like, how is it that there is 400 and semi people in my live on the other channel? I say I'm going live on this channel and they don't resonate with folks. I guess because I'm not talking about the circus. But that's okay. because we'll be back to talk about the circus tomorrow. And we'll talk about more stuff that is going on. And I'm going to look for more stuff to give to y'all to entertain y'all. But in the meantime, y'all let me know what y'all think down on in the comment section. If you're on the replay, those of y'all that were here from the beginning to end, thank you very much. No matter what point you came in, I appreciate the love and the support. As I always say, when you rest well, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace, y'all. Where's the end? The end.